good, huh?
Hi, everybody. It's Craig from Doc Sports, and we're back with Doc's Daily. It is Tuesday, the 25th of February. I believe we're basically a week, not even. I mean, if you count March as March Madness, we're less than a week till we get the madness for real for college basketball. But, of course, got tons of NBA and NHL to talk about as well. So we got all three live and loaded today. And I've got the three amigos are back together both yesterday and rest of the week. And look, these two are not only together, they're in the same spot at the new studio.
In the lab. Finally got it ready. Studio's finally ready.
So, Griffin, how did we do yesterday? And what do we have for today? Any big plays today?
Actually, so yesterday we ended up cashing our 7-unit best bet. In the NBA side of things, I had the Atlanta Hawks, so we ended up capitalizing on a 7-unit winner. NHL today. So as far as that goes, I went 1-1 in props, although 3-unit smack, 2-unit loss. It was a plus value play on the 2-unit. Ended up capitalizing $100 profit on the prop side of things. I did drop when it comes to NHL last night. College basketball last night. No NHL. So today I have a 4-unit NHL selection. I've currently cashed 5 straight NBA winners. On top of that, 5 straight NHL winners. So, Craig, we're absolutely steamrolling right now when it comes to the hardwood and the ice. So today, little lower volume because I'm looking at a game of the year tomorrow on the NBA side of things, brother.
All right. So I didn't have the night I wanted. You go 2-1, you're like most nights are happy. 3-0 with the free play videos. You're happy. But the one that you lose when it's the top unit play, the 7-unit play, losing yesterday. I was playing against the Wizards and a big, that Nets were like, after they got beat, I was like, there's no way you lose to the Wizards twice. And it happened. 12 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, 12 points against the Wizards in the fourth quarter. Don't get me started. But still, 23-11 the last 40 days with the NBA. We're super selective. 5-unit play tonight. I've got the NHL. Speaking of selective, just 15 plays the last 36 days. We are 11-4, and I have a 7-unit play tonight. Have 3 other plays, some in college basketball and a little player prop, so make sure you check out any of the sports. If you go to the free 60, get the free $60 account, go to docsports.com/free60, get free $60 for all new customers. If you're not a new customer, of course, go to the grid, and you can get in on any sport. It's $30 for a day. You'll get all the selections that any capper gives out, $99 for a week. Or we have some season passes, $2.99 for college basketball, $3.99 for the NBA, and NHL I think is $3.75. So I did forget about you, Nick.
Right.
How did you do last night, and what do you have tonight?
Yes, last night, perfect. 4-0 in all sports there. We swept the board. 2-0 in NBA, NHL, and college basketball. We also had, but on the night, plus $1,200, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here tonight with a 5-unit best bet in the NBA, and we're locked and loaded in college basketball and NHL. We have two packs going out tonight, so we are locked and loaded here for Tuesday, Craig.
So when we say top plays, just so like I probably should have done this. We're a month in, but when we say it's 5 units or above. So it's on an 8-unit scale. If it's 5, 6, 7, or 8 unit, that would be what we consider here at Doc Sports a top play. So if you hear us say a top play, it's one of those units. Usually we try to say exactly what it is, but if we don't, it's 5 units or above. Sometimes we just say, hey, our top play records are X, Y, and Z. That means 5, 6, 7, or 8 combined. So don't forget, like and subscribe. Make sure you don't miss on all the great videos, including we got some individual NBA picks that we all did, NHL, college basketball. So make sure you check it out here at Doc Sports channel by hitting that like and subscribe button. And make sure you put in the comments what you like. If there's something that you like, you want to talk about, you like for tonight as far as your bets, make sure you put them in the comments section so we can highlight them or we can answer any questions you do have. Now let's kick it off. NBA action. Pretty big card here tonight. I mean, we're not a full week into the post-All-Star break, but I think things are starting to settle in. And we did okay with our free picks yesterday, but I think there's a few out there. I know you guys have a few. Nick, why don't you start us off? as a free play in the NBA tonight?
Yeah, let's go to New Orleans Pelicans here. They have the San Antonio Spurs coming into town. These two teams just played each other here. The Pelicans, they just won over the San Antonio Spurs. Wembanyama will be out here tonight in this game. I'm expecting DeAndre Fox to have a huge game here and take down these New Orleans Pelicans, but we'll play it safe here as they are traveling on the road. I think Fox has a breakout game for the Spurs, and they get it done tonight and cover. Take plus 2.5 with the San Antonio Spurs over the New Orleans Pelicans there, Craig.
Well, we did see the Spurs. They were the first game without Victor, and it was kind of like the news came out the day of the game. I believe that was last Thursday. Then they weren't so great the next game, but now I think that it's kind of settled in. You know what I mean? Like Victor's not going to be coming back this year. He's not like he's dead. He'll be back next year. But I think you're going to start to see De'Aaron Fox be that superstar that we all think he could be, that he never really took the bulls by the horns. I actually think this is a positive for the Spurs long term because they really you need your point guard and your lead guard if he's going to be a superstar and get paid like it, which he will be. You need him to be the leader. And I think he's going to take the bull by the horns. I like this play. I think they went outright tonight. The Pelicans are a dumpster fire organization. Like, just think who they've had. Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, and Zion. They've had all in consecutive terms now. Like, for the last 15 years, they've had elite Hall of Fame talent, yet they've really never succeeded. So, to me, anytime I can fade the Pelicans, I usually do. All right, so Griffin, why don't you show us the way with a little NBA free pick here?
Absolutely, Craig. And I'm rolling into this game. So we've got Boston laying 11.5 at Toronto with the total sitting at 225.5. And I mean, Craig, let's be real. We know, and the public has really caught on to this attention. Toronto, by no means an easy atmosphere to play at whatsoever. And then on top of that, they're one of the best teams against the spread as a home underdog. Well, in tonight's matchup, they're getting 11.5 points as a home underdog, and the public's attention has gotten way too much grasp on this. Boston right now, they are currently in that run in the East where they need to now explode and really show their capabilities like they did last season, because they are not showing that whatsoever, reversed from last season opposed to this season. So I believe rolling into this matchup, I believe the public is going to get absolutely slaughtered. They're going to be all over Toronto in this matchup. I'm flipping the script on them. I believe the Celtics come in here and roll over this Toronto Raptors team and cover our 11.5 point spread here tonight, Craig.
Well, when you guys were partying it up, and we'll call that fishing in New Orleans.
A little fishy.
But Robert was on Thursday and Friday, and we talked a lot about the Celtics. And, well, just in general, like what we're going to see in the second half. And like we both said, the Celtics are going to be the Celtics of last year. We really thought that this is going to happen, that they're going to start putting a little more emphasis, not because these games are like, they're going to win the championship, but you start to set yourself apart and send messages to the rest of the Eastern Conference like, hey, we're still the big dogs. We're going to get it done. I like them here tonight, too, to win big. I actually think the first half's a nice little play in this one as well, because Boston is one of those teams that when they usually cover these big spreads, it's usually because they jump all over teams and kind of give them no hope. I think they do so in this one. First half, I think it's like -5-ish, 5.5. Depending on where you guys search it around a little bit, because those numbers can really change.
A little extra spice on it. I like it, Craig.
Yeah, so first half. I always think if you like these big spreads, sometimes you can get much better value at half, because, they might jump on them early. In the NBA, let me tell you, big leads are never safe. Like, this is the lead, where they say Saratoga is like the, as far as horse racing is concerned, is like the death of favorites. It's like the graveyard of favorites, I think is what they call it.
Look at last night. You saw, my bad, Craig. I didn't mean to jump over you here, but did you just watch last night's game with OKC in Minnesota?
Yeah.
OKC's laying 14.5 points. They're drilling them by over 20 points in the fourth quarter and end up losing that game outright in OT. I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? So it's just any underdog can cover at any time and they can win outright. So I just wanted to touch up on that a little bit.
And in-game betting, like we don't talk a ton about in-game betting because we haven't done some. We've been talking about putting some live shows together to do it during big events. And the NBA this year, if you wait till a team is up 20 points and you take the team that's down by 20 points, you're usually getting 18.
I do
17.
it all the time, man.
They almost always cover.
Guys, did anybody see Joel Embiid? His news? retiring?
Today?
Yeah, it just came out on my phone. I don't know if it's true or not, but I just saw it, and I could not believe that Joel Embiid is retiring. May or may not be true.
Could be false news.
Could be false. Let's double
Ring
check
the bell.
that.
Ring the bell.
Let's double check that, but it's something that popped up on my phone. I don't know.
I don't know about retiring, but I did hear that he got a second opinion yesterday, and that they're probably going to set him for the rest of the year. I mean, they should set him for the rest of the year. Like, this dude's not going anywhere this year.
Hey, the Bulls winning last night and covering. There we go.
We're going to call those the Knicks Bulls. Like, anytime the Bulls win, they're the Knicks Bulls. Anytime they get drilled, guess what? They're also the Knicks Bulls.
Well, they got rid of Zach. Remember, Craig, they got rid of Zach LaVine. So now I'm a big Bulls fan. I'm hopping back on the bandwagon. LaVine's out of there.
Yeah. All right, so I like a little NBA action as well tonight, a little free pick. Like I said, top play is a 5-unit play. Usually I have one a day. I do have a little teaser as well, and I like this Cleveland Cavaliers team. I think, just like I think the Celtics are going to really have a good – I think for Cleveland to have a shot to beat Boston, they have to have the home court advantage. So I think these games aren't like just throwaway games for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And they're a team this year. These numbers are crazy. Usually on the road, teams, even good teams, do not cover. This team is 17-9 on the road against the spread, 20-6 straight up. They are 4-0-1 against the spread their last 5 games. I really like what they did with the DeAndre Hunter. I hate they had to give up LeVert, but they just basically got a bigger, stronger LeVert. Like, LeVert was a very nice player, but he wasn't big and strong enough to guard some of the really big forwards on switches. Now they've got a guy that can do that. I like this Cavaliers team minus the points here. I think they win by double digits, no problem. This also, remember, this was a 7-game series in the playoffs last year, these two. And Orlando talked a lot of trash that, like, that they're going to be stepping up. And I think Cleveland's like, hold your horses.
Craig, I love where you went. You said tease here, and we got a line on the Cavs currently at 8.5. If we were to throw a little 2-team parlay here on a teaser, what about Memphis? Or I'm sorry, let's look at this. Cleveland's laying what today? 8.5.
Yep.
Trim them down, and then trim down Boston. I'm thinking Memphis on the money line.
I kind of I'm just going to give you guys. This is in my 2-team teaser for my premium members. I'm going to give it to you. It's Cleveland minus the points with a 5-point teaser, and Milwaukee plus the points. You get it up to 8.5. I think Milwaukee can win the game outright tonight. So I think you give them 8.5. The Milwaukee's not a deep team. Remember, Bobby Portis is suspended because he took a painkiller that was on the restricted list. I still think, this is another PSA. Like, this whole, trust me, they're all on painkillers and more, all kinds of stuff. And some of them are legal and some of them are not. It's like, dude, let's quit the whole, if you're on PEDs, suspend these guys. But painkillers, dude, every guy in NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, and hockey are on some kind of painkillers. Try to play sports 5 days a week or 4 days a week. And I don't care how, you're always sore. So anyway, I think it's crazy that he's suspended because he took one that's not on the list. It was on the list last year, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's move to college hoops today, because I think there's some hidden gems today in college hoops. Not like the biggest featured games, but I think there's some hidden gems. Griffin, since Nick started last, I want you to kick us off here with college basketball play.
Yeah, Craig, I want to jump into this game right now, and we've got Washington at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's currently laying 14.5 points. We have a total sitting at 150.5. Wisconsin has been bulldozing absolutely everybody. They just beat Purdue outright. On top of that, they beat Illinois after that. Then they're coming off a loss. I understand the loss. It happens, trial and error, whatever. But with that being said, the public's attention as well. This is another game for me, another scenario where I look at this matchup with a current line of 14.5. The market is starting to give Wisconsin too much love. And the reason being is because everybody's jumping on the bandwagon with them. Washington, on the other hand, they just beat Penn State outright, I want to say, a week and a half ago. Washington is a very pesky team. And if you're going to give me plus 14.5 points against Wisconsin, when in my eyes, I believe the market's starting to show a little bit of love because of how well they're performing as of late, give me Washington here, and I'm taking the plus 14.5 points here, Craig. I think Washington could really get it done tonight, and I would not be surprised if this game ends up within single digits.
Well, I think what happens is marquee matchups that you can see on TV matter to move lines. And remember the game Purdue was hosting. It was Purdue was hosting Wisconsin. At half, Purdue was beating them pretty handily. Wisconsin shoots like, 76% or something in the second half, and they absolutely destroyed them. Then they beat an Illinois team that, if you haven't followed, like the flu, like for 2-3 weeks, are wiping that team out. So people that don't realize these kind of scenarios, like, well, a team's just going to shoot. Every once in a while, you're just going to shoot. And people start to put like, oh, this Wisconsin team is unbeatable. They're a very nice team. And when they're scoring like that, probably can beat anybody. Like they could beat even Auburn, I think. But look at the record. Look at the averages. Teams don't shoot 76% on games. You know what I mean? Like, so they always say you play to the back of your baseball card. So teams play to to their averages for the year, and they're going to return to the average can return to the mean, as they say, as for your math professors out there. And usually when that happens, then they don't cover these big lines. So and Washington, remember, has been super disappointing because Washington went out and spent some big money in NIL market, and it did not work out. They've got some talented players. They just have to put it together. So I like that you're kind of jumping off a team that's like getting all the steam right now, which is definitely Wisconsin. Nick, what do you like here as a free play for Tuesday?
Yeah, let's look at Iowa versus Illinois here. Illinois is -11.5 right now. And this Iowa team, I just watched them. I forgot who they played. They played very hard in the first half, and they score a lot of points. Doesn't matter. I know they're 1-6 on the road here this season, but just like you said, Craig, this Illini team, their point guard, he broke his wrist. The flu's going around here. I don't know if they're going to be as stacked here as they were in the beginning of the year. This Iowa team, like I said, their offense, they could shoot the ball from the perimeter. I expect Iowa to score some points in this one against a banged up Illinois team. I would lay the points, take the points with the Iowa Hawkeyes +11.5 to cover here in Illinois, where they do play their best basketball. But like you said, Craig, they're banged up. They're sick. Take the Iowa Hawkeyes here. I like the guard play, especially for the Hawkeyes. I think he gets it done tonight. Take +11.5 over Illinois here tonight, Craig.
And this has gotten a lot of steam. Like this line opened up. The advanced line was like 9.5, I believe. Then we saw it open up like at 10.5 at most books. So at 11.5, it means they've gotten a lot of public money. I think what happens is people hear, now they're finally hearing about the injury and like the illness, and like, okay, now they're back at practice. But let me tell you, if you ever had the flu, like the last thing you want to do is be running against Iowa that just like plays like this up and down.
In a hot gym.
Yeah, I think this is like one of those danger spots where they could be up early and run out of steam late, and you get the big backdoor cover by Iowa. So I like that play. It was one of my free plays that I had yesterday for last night's video. I like a little free play action in the A10. St. Louis has been very good at home, but one thing they haven't been is good on the road. And guess what? It's at Davidson. Davidson is a favorite for a reason in this spot. They're the better team. When they're playing at home, they're 11-4. Like they're just not a very good road team. Just like most of this A10, St. Louis is 3-7 on the road. I just think this Davidson team is at home is just a different beast. You're going to take -1 here, no problem. Maybe you sprinkle the money line instead. I just think Davidson's the better team, and I think they take care of business here. The A10 is kind of like the Mountain West this year. Like if you just play the home teams. The home teams, most times they say 3 points. For you guys that are new bettors, 3 points. If you play this on a neutral field, a neutral thing, then you would say St. Louis would be favored by 2. The A10 and the Mountain West is more like 5 or 6 this year. Like it's been a war to get road wins in both of these conferences. I think what it means is a lot of the NIL and a lot of the transfer portal has made these conferences, the top to bottom, there's just not that much difference. And it's a lot of it close games. And, I think it's another close game. It says so. Davidson -1 is the free play. Question here, guys. Speaking of the Mountain West, important game tonight. New Mexico, I think if they don't win the conference tournament, I think they're still going to get in. But there's 3-4 games left. Like it's not a conference that's going to get 5 bids type of conference this year, I don't believe. So what happens is if they go on a little 1-3 stretch and then lose early in the conference tournament, all of a sudden these are type of teams. We saw Indiana State get left out last year. They were kind of with a darling up until they lose their conference tournament. San Diego State's a 3-point underdog or 3-point favorite here. I think it opened up. I think it's still there. Any of you guys have an opinion on this one? Because this Mountain West is just
premium. I got a premium on this one, brother.
Great.
San Diego State at home, correct?
Yes, -3.
Yeah, they played really good basketball at home. They played Boise State. I remember watching that game at home.
This time, I think it was last Thursday, I think.
Yeah, and They absolutely played phenomenal basketball. I mean, crashed the boards, hitting from the perimeter, something with San Diego State, Mountain West playing at home. I would definitely take the points there with San Diego State. What I saw last week, they defend their home court very well.
Yeah, that's a good Boise State team. That Boise State team has some good quality wins, and it really was never close. It was 18, 20 points.
At all.
They lost the Butler kid that went to Kentucky, their point guard. Like if they had him on this team, I think the San Diego State is a borderline like Sweet 16, Elite 8 type potential. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to truly replace his leadership. At times, they'll play unbelievable. They always play great defense. They're physical. Like I think San Diego State is a live underdog, to win this game and to possibly win the tournament, because this is a team. If you want to win conference tournaments where you got to win 3-4 games in a row, back-to-back days, it's hard to just do it with offense. You've got to be able to stop people. Yeah. And I think this is a good enough team on offense that can get it done, but that defense is elite. When you play on a neutral court, I think they could be a scary team in the Mountain West tournament. I like San Diego State as well tonight. All right, I want to get your guys' opinion. Let's go back to NBA real quick, then we'll go Swift. I forgot to mention, we've got the Mavs and the Lakers tonight. Line, I think, is 9. I think it was higher. It was or it was lower. It was
it's at 9.5 now. It opened up at 7.5.
Yeah, I was going to say it was 7 or 7.5 in almost all the advanced lines, and immediately went to 8.5 or 9. And I think we're going to continue to get to steam because Dallas is really banged up. All 3 centers are out, including Anthony Davis, of course. Mm-hmm. But it's like, is the Luka motivation? Because that's what you're getting. You're getting the extra 2 points because Luka. They think the Luka and rest of his new teammates, the Lakers, are going to play to show up.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work that way. Do you guys have any opinions on this one?
I absolutely do, Craig. I mean, this kind of seems like a layup, slam dunk type of play. Lakers right now, they're 8-2 in their last 10 games. They're currently on a 2-game winning streak. They're playing very good basketball. They just throttled, I want to say, Denver in their most recent matchup on the road. Now coming into this matchup, you look at Dallas. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. They're not playing good basketball whatsoever. Everybody, and I mean everybody, is going to look at this game and say it's too good. It's almost too good to be true. But the public doesn't realize that. Looking at this game right now, current line sitting at 9.5 points. The last time Dallas played the Lakers, they beat them by nearly 30 points. So everybody and their grandmothers are going to be looking at this game and saying bounce back revenge game, bounce back game for the Lakers to roll in this game and absolutely smash them down. I'm flipping the script on them in this one, Craig. I like Dallas here tonight plus the 9.5 points. I think this is going to be a very competitive matchup, and I could see this game going back and forth, back and forth. This may come down to a last possession to where we're shooting free throws and fouling left and right. I do believe the Lakers are going to come out with the victory tonight, but with that being said, Craig, I'm on Dallas tonight with the points.
I don't know what the first quarter line is. I can only guess. I don't have it in front of me. I'm guessing it's 3.5 for the Lakers. I would take the first quarter in this game. I think the Lakers will come out on fire. Yeah. But we said it in the NBA, these big leads have been, that's nothing. It's taking candy from a baby late. I also think a little player prop tonight. I think they're going to be like, hey, we're not letting Kyrie beat us. We're going to make somebody else beat us. I like PJ Washington over his points and rebounds. I believe it's 24.5. This is actually my premium play for a player prop. So you're getting it for free here, over 24.5. I think he'll get us close to 10 rebounds because they don't have any centers, and he's super athletic. I think he'll get us some second chance on the offense and some key defensive rebounds. And I think he'll be wide open a lot because, to beat Dallas, you just have to say, at this point, Kyrie can't beat us. And I think PJ Washington is going to be the benefit.
Kyrie is going to be the assist man tonight all night long. Drill that over.
He'll have to be. I can't wait. I would not play Luka's stats tonight because he's either going to go for 50 or he's going to be super taking bad shots and he'll get 20 on 32 attempts or something stupid. So I would stay away from tonight. I think it's just too big of a swing emotionally for him. I think LeBron will have a big game tonight because I think the Mavs are going to be like, hey, let's don't let Luka beat us. If LeBron beats us, we can live with that. But let's don't let our, the guy we traded away for Anthony Davis be the difference.
Don't let him drop I'm on us now. Yeah.
Let's talk NHL. I do have a bus, so I can't be late today, so I have to catch today. So I'm going to talk a little NHL here, or actually I'm going to make Nick do it first because if you guys haven't followed this threesome here, or thruple as they say, Nick is the hockey expert out of the three of us. I just pick and choose. I am like one of those guys that I'm going to play basically one play every 2 or 3 days, and it's just going to be a big play. And I'm only going to take the absolute best. But Nick is going to be able to find the hidden gems because he follows the NHL much stronger. So give us a little hidden gem there tonight.
Hit him with it.
Let you guys down yesterday with the Vegas Golden Knights. The Kings, they just got it done at home. They improved the record to 19-3. But we're not worried about that game. We're here for a winner. We're going with the Edmonton Oilers and the Tampa Bay Lightning here. The total is sitting at 6.5 right now. The Oilers coming in this game on a 3-game losing streak, while the Tampa Bay Lightning, they're on a 5-game winning streak here. So what does the public say? Well, the Edmonton Oilers have to win this game, right? Absolutely not. This Tampa Bay Lightning team, they have 19 wins at home. They play their best hockey here at home. I absolutely love the Tampa Bay Lightning in this game. It's a -115 line against the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers are just struggling on the offensive side to put the puck in the net, while this Tampa Bay Lightning team, they're coming in right now in the NHL second in goals per game, ladies and gentlemen. Edmonton's right behind them in 4th place in the NHL in goals per game, but they're not at home. They're on the road here. Give me the Tampa Bay Lightning money line -115 tonight, Craig, over Edmonton.
Didn't Edmonton give up to just the other day 7-8 goals or something?
8 goals.
Yeah.
I think it was 8-3 final. Something
that was my overplay. 7-unit over, 6-unit overplay.
Well, baby. That's
Those
a
are the
thriller.
best.
Those are the ones you like where they hit it right when the third quarter starts, they hit. How about this one tonight, Nick? I really liked it. Almost made my 7-unit play, but there was one I just liked a little more. And like I said, I'm not a guy that I'll just try to, even if I like 2, I try to whittle it down to 1 because it's just, I feel like I'm maybe not seeing it good enough. But there's one tonight that I like. Columbus Blue Jackets at home against the spread are 21-7. So that means if you get the +1.5, they can lose by 1, and they're also 18-6-4 as far as just outright at home. So this is a good home team. They don't play well on the road. And I just think you take the +1.5 here. You got to lay some juice to do it. But I think it's a pretty safe play because whatever it happens, I'm not very far from Columbus, so they don't obviously have any the Mutant Ninja Turtle sauce that they're drinking at home or something. But something happens to this team at home. They just play different. Do you like the Blue Jackets here plus the 1.5 tonight?
Craig, I absolutely love the Blue Jackets. It's actually a premium play here on my side. That is a great call on your behalf. You're from Columbus, but they're going to win here.
Cincinnati. Don't say that.
Cincinnati.
Get it right.
It's CC's. But I would take the Columbus Blue Jackets here. I love the plus money. It's worth the value in my eyes here, especially playing at home, like you said. That's where they play their best hockey. So take the Columbus Blue Jackets money line here, plus money.
If all 3 of us are on the same
side, all
side,
3 got it, bro.
Oh no!
Yep.
Is it too good to be true?
I used to say when I ran my other website that all the cappers worked for me. I could see what everybody played, and sometimes the consensus would be and I'm not lying, 22-2, against the spread or money line or whatever on the play. I mean, it felt like when that happened, it was a 5% chance of winning. It was because it was
let's flip. Right.
Columbus.
Yeah. And now when it's just 3, it's not the end of the world, but it's sometimes when everybody's on one side, that's sometimes when you want to be on the other. But let's go 3-0 tonight, or let's go 1-0 tonight with the 3 of us. All right. Do you like a free play here, Griffin? I'll give you a chance to show your NHL
Hey, listen, man. I'm 22 and 23-11 in my last 35.
And we almost called the outright upset as a +5 or -500 favorite last night. Remember?
Dude, Sharks, baby.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Almost won that damn thing outright.
Lost the overtime.
Are you kidding me? But no, we've drilled 5 straight NHL premium selections. But I got one right here. Saucy as all hell. And we got the Chicago Blackhawks. Not a very exciting game, Craig, but there's definitely value here. And I mean, what am I looking at? So we've got the Chicago Blackhawks. They're rolling into Utah to play the Utah Hockey Club. Current line, Utah is -270. We have a total sitting at 6.5. So we know Utah. They're playing competitive hockey this season. Not bad by any means. Nearly around 500 hockey. They play worse than they do at home than they do opposed on the road. Chicago, on the other hand, they play good hockey at home. Not impressive hockey, but better than they do on the road. And right now, Chicago, they are currently ranked 28th in the NHL in offensive goals per game. And I want to say Utah ranks around 21st in offensive goals per game. Both of these defenses on the other side are nearly dead last. Chicago has one of the worst defenses in hockey. Why is this line currently, Craig, sitting at 6.5? Do they really expect? This is a complete trap game in my eyes. Utah is scoring the ranked, I want to say 21st on the offensive side, Chicago 28th on the offensive side. Why do we have a total with two teams sitting right now where Utah's at home playing competitive hockey? Why is it at 6.5? Why is it not 5.5? These two offenses suck. Give me the over 6.5 goals in this game, Craig. I believe this is a complete trap line. Nobody believes in either of these teams' offenses. And for some reason, I think Chicago is going to come out striking tonight. And I believe Utah is going to hold their own at home tonight and score some goals and light up the lamp. So, Craig, give me the over 6.5 goals in this matchup between the Chicago Blackhawks and the Utah Hockey Club.
All right, we just have like 30 seconds here. I'm just going to say this. The new normal in hockey, it used to be every total was pretty much 5.5. Like it just everything when I was your guys' age. Now, the new normal is 6.5. Just the way that the hockey is. So to me, I like sometimes you just have to play the opposite, which is kind of what you're doing. The opposite as far as mindset. You thinking two under teams, two low scoring teams, they face off. Bam. I like it. All right. Like and subscribe. Don't forget, use that, get that free $60 account, docsports.com/free60. Got some big plays. I have a 7-unit play in the NHL. Nick, you had what sport?
5-unit NBA.
5-unit NBA. And Griffin, what did you have?
I got a 4-unit NHL and I got a 2-pack on college hoops side of things. Pass today in NBA because we got a Hail Maker tomorrow, baby.
Okay, so go there, sign up if you're a new customer. If not, go to the grid. If you're an existing customer, get in tonight. I think we have a big night, all three of us. So don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock to 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow, it's Wednesday. Guess what that means? The king of the books, Raphael.
Get Ralph on, baby.
Behind the counter expert. Like he always gives us some gems from the bookmaker mindset that he has in his background. It always gets some nice. And then, of course, Thursday, Friday, we'll have Robert Frigno, the king of college hoops. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll see you all tomorrow with our free picks, and have a good day. I hope all your bets are winning ones.